Hey Waffle Crew, I hope you're all doing great. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into some fresh Reddit tales. If you're a fan of Reddit stories, consider giving a thumbs up, subscribing, and maybe ringing that notification bell. Let's jump into the first story of the day, sending you all tons of love. Our first tale comes from user Rez412samg9, titled, Boyfriend's Mom Called My Blind Brother 25 Million a Burden. I, 28F, called her out harshly. As the title suggests, there's some ableism in this story, so here's a heads up before we dive in. My brother, blind since birth, lives with me. He doesn't need a caretaker. Sharing a home just simplifies his life, and I enjoy it. He's fiercely independent, has a solid job, and a bright future. I'm incredibly proud of him. Last month, we traveled to our home country in East Asia. We're now based in Europe while my boyfriend is local, to visit our parents. On the return trip, our parents loaded our bags with gifts and food, leading to unexpected overweight luggage fees at the airport. Last night, I was at my boyfriend's parents' place, chatting with his mom, dad, and sister. My boyfriend wasn't in the room when this happened, so he didn't witness it firsthand. They asked about my trip, and I mentioned it went well, except for the hefty baggage fees. His mom burst into laughter, which caught everyone off guard. His dad asked what was so funny, and she said she found it ironic that extra baggage had to pay for extra baggage. I didn't catch her meaning at first, nor did anyone else. Then she clarified. She meant my brother was like a burden I carry, and I had to pay excess fees for him, the extra baggage on the trip. A double whammy, she called it. I was livid and wanted to lash out but held back. Instead, I told her she was despicable, apologized to the dad and sister, and stormed out. I texted my boyfriend that I was leaving and we'd talk the next day. He followed me out, and we spoke briefly. He offered to go back inside and mediate, but I declined. I told him to hear their side, and we'd discuss it later. We haven't spoken since, but we will tonight. I'm unsure how to proceed and could use advice. I suspect my boyfriend will push for reconciliation, but I'm not sure I can forgive her, even if she apologizes. Edit. She posted a vague Facebook status saying, my son's girlfriend insulted me because she didn't like how I described her trip. Edit 2. To clarify, my brother and I traveled alone to see our parents. My boyfriend didn't join us. My brother wasn't some tag-along on a couple's trip. When people post shady stuff on social media to make themselves look better, my instinct is to call them out. Quote her exact words in a comment under her post and watch it disappear fast. A commenter asked, "What's up with the boyfriend's mom? Is she always like this, or was it a bad joke?" I replied, "She's met my brother a few times but doesn't really know him. They've barely spoken. It didn't feel like a joke. If it was, she could have said so when I got upset. She's made comments before, like, poor you dealing with that. It's clear she genuinely thinks this way." Another user asked about cultural differences, wondering if, in Asian culture, children often care for aging parents, and if so, wouldn't that make her a burden later? I clarified, "She's not Asian. My boyfriend's family is European. I'm the one from East Asia." When asked where they're from and if I'd reconcile, I said, "They're Spanish, but live in the UK. I don't think I can move past this, even with an apology, knowing it's her true belief." When asked if her comment was about my brother's blindness, I confirmed, "Yes, she thinks he's useless because of it. This isn't her first jab implying that." Someone asked, "Would you be as upset if your brother wasn't blind, but still lived with you and joined the trip?" I replied, "He didn't join our trip. We went to see our parents together. My boyfriend wasn't even there." I hinted early on that my boyfriend would likely push for peace, but there's no peace to be had after something so cruel. It's unforgivable. Here's the update. Things got worse. As mentioned, she posted that Facebook status, noted in the edit. I spoke with my boyfriend last night, and he reacted as expected, calling it a moment of madness where both his mom and I were at fault, suggesting mutual apologies to move on. No way. especially after her social media stunt. We argued at length. He refused to pick a side. Meanwhile, his mom hasn't even offered to apologize. His dad called me, apologized for her words, and said they didn't reflect the family's views, calling her remarks thoughtless. I apologized for my outburst, but he said it wasn't needed. The sister called too, saying this wasn't the first time her mom made cruel comments about disabled people, and she's embarrassed. I avoided a social media feud, but while the mom's friends commented, "Kids these days have no respect," the sister wrote, "Mom, you omitted what you said first. Stop this." The post was deleted hours later. I'm disappointed in my boyfriend. His dad and sister stood up to her, but he didn't. If he had his sister's courage, things might be different. I haven't broken up with him. I don't act rashly, but I'm leaning that way. Any advice is welcome. TLDR. His dad and sister supported me and apologized for the mom's behavior. My boyfriend won't take a side, and I'm let down. A commenter asked if this was a pattern, noting I predicted my boyfriend's reaction. I said, "He always tries to mediate and find middle ground, no matter the situation." Another user advised, "Tell him how much his mom's words hurt you and how his silence felt like agreement. He might realize his mistake, but if not, you have your answer. His inaction isn't peacekeeping, it's fear of confrontation." I explained, "I've told him, but he insists both sides should admit it was a moment of madness and move on. It wasn't a one-off." She doubled down on Facebook to paint me as the villain. What do you all think? Share your thoughts below, and let's move to the next story. Our next tale comes from the Am I Wrong subreddit, posted by a deleted user, titled, "Am I Wrong for Telling My Boyfriend Not to Cover His Brother and Partner's Share of a Family Cruise?" Here's the deal. My boyfriend, Dean, 25 million, gave me permission to share this, keeping details vague. It's a messy situation, so grab a snack. This is a wild ride. Background: Dean and I, 23F, are financially comfortable. He has investments from a past settlement and has treated me to trips before. Dean, his brother Sam, 21M, and Sam's partner Jessica, 20, non-binary, are graduating from different schools next year, so the family planned a big celebration. A Disney cruise, chosen because Jessica claims other cruises make them sick, but Disney's fine, allegedly. Dean recently got my parents' blessing to propose, which they gave. Dean and I have been together as long as Sam and Jessica, but Jessica's eager to get engaged fast, within a year, if it were up to them. Sam and Jessica are in college, work fast food, and have little savings. I've never liked Jessica, though I think Sam's a great guy with a bright future. I've met them a handful of times. The first time, Jessica used their autism to cut lines at Disney, claiming special needs status while hitting their face repeatedly. Red flags right away. We spent a week together at a family reunion in close quarters. By the end, I had pneumonia, Dean had a high fever, and others, including Sam, were sick from the cramped conditions. That's when Jessica's true colors showed. Jessica got upset when outvoted on group activities, storming off and forcing Sam to console them for hours, happening 3 or 4 times that week. I also saw Jessica hit Sam during playful arguments. Sam's tall and fit, Jessica's petite, so it didn't seem to hurt him, but it shocked me. I told Jessica, "When you hit him, I wince." They laughed it off. Jessica grew increasingly rude to Dean, starting with subtle eye rolls, then snarky comments, escalating to snapping at him. I raised this with Dean and his mom, who noticed it too, but Dean, bless him, hadn't picked up on it. We didn't know how to address it without making things awkward. By the trip's end, at the airport, Jessica was outright hostile to Dean, who asked me not to confront them since I fiercely defend those I love. Fast forward to last night. Dean came home upset. When I asked why, he told me to stay calm. Sam and Jessica assumed Dean would cover their $6,000 cruise share without them contributing. Dean and his mom were baffled about where this idea came from. Dean once mentioned splitting a concierge suite, but after the reunion, we nixed that plan. That's the only possible source of their assumption. Sam told Dean and their mom they couldn't go unless Dean paid. My heart sank as Dean considered covering them, even planning it aloud. I stopped him, saying I'd maybe understand paying for Sam, but not Jessica, given their rudeness to him without apology. He was unsure how to handle it, so we went to dinner. My sweet, generous boyfriend, the man I'll marry, took me shopping and to a nice meal, but I could tell something else was bothering him. After some gentle prodding, he revealed another issue tied to his proposal plans. Dean once mentioned splitting a concierge suite, but after the reunion, we nixed that plan. That's the only possible source of their assumption. Sam told Dean and their mom they couldn't go unless Dean paid. My heart sank as Dean considered covering them, even planning it aloud. I stopped him, saying I'd maybe understand paying for Sam, but not Jessica, given their rudeness to him without apology. He was unsure how to handle it, so we went to dinner. My sweet, generous boyfriend, the man I'll marry, took me shopping and to a nice meal, but I could tell something else was bothering him. After some gentle prodding, he revealed another issue tied to his proposal plans. Weeks ago, he told Sam he might propose on the cruise's first day, surprising me with my parents' presence to make it a bigger celebration. He assured Sam it wouldn't overshadow their graduations. Sam respectfully said it might feel like it did, so Dean dropped the idea. Then Jessica sent Dean a massive text, summarized here. They insisted any proposal happen on the last day, as the cruise was for the graduates' celebration. They doubted Dean's promise that it'd be inclusive, especially with my parents there, and called him selfish for shifting the trip's focus. They even said they'd tell their mom to stop saving for the trip, claiming it was unfair to make her pay to celebrate a proposal for people she barely knows. This was all while assuming Dean was footing their bill. Dean's hurt and confused about why Sam treats him like an ATM and lets Jessica disrespect him. So, am I wrong for saying he shouldn't pay for Jessica's share? I'm even hesitant about Sam. TLDR. My boyfriend's brother's partner expects him to pay $6,000 for their cruise share and demanded he not propose during the trip, claiming it'd steal their spotlight. Given their entitlement and rudeness, I told him not to pay, and I'm standing firm. A commenter, Merlin Smurfs, said, "I'm with you. If Dean pays, it's the start of a lifetime of mooching. Jessica's out of line, and that only Disney cruises don't make them sick claim is absurd. You and Dean need to align before marriage. It's not about money, it's their attitude." I replied, "Dean and I agree not to pay for Jessica. This blew up last night, and we're still processing. It's not the cost, it's their nerve." Another user noted, "That Disney-only claim sounds fake. Dean needs to talk to Sam privately. Sam's with someone toxic." Another advised setting boundaries, saying, "Call out Jessica's rudeness every time. Don't pay for them. Let their parents cover it or throw a party instead. Dean needs to stand firm or he'll be supporting them forever. Here's my update. Thanks for the feedback. It's the next morning, and I'll address common questions and what happened since my post." 1. Why agree to a Disney cruise Jessica insisted on? Many family members love Disney, and with graduates starting jobs soon, this was our last big trip for a while, a send-off to adulthood. A new Disney cruise ship sparked the idea. 2. Why expect broke college kids to afford a $6,000 trip? On the reunion trip, Jessica said their dad would chip in as a graduation gift, and we believed it since he recently bought them a car. There was talk of Dean covering up front with them paying him back, but they assumed a free ride. They have jobs, fast food, sure, but they could save if they didn't splurge on Disney passes. 3. Why comment on your boyfriend's finances as just a girlfriend? Dean and I share finances and discuss major purchases together, like house hunting recently. It works for us. 4. Why propose on the trip? Dean told Sam to share his excitement about our engagement, and the cruise was just one idea. When Sam objected, Dean moved on, until Jessica's text escalated things. 5. Is this AI generated? I wish this wasn't my reality. Here's what went down. Yesterday, I posted a SpongeBob meme on my Instagram story about crashing out, with a caption about relating to it because people are wild. Later, I noticed Jessica unfollowed me. I showed Dean, and we laughed, deciding I wouldn't unfollow back. Petty, but fair. 30 minutes later, Sam texted Dean, asking why I unfollowed Jessica and if he'd reconsidered paying. Dean clarified I didn't unfollow first, and Jessica claimed it was an Instagram glitch affecting only me. We suspect Jessica saw my meme, assumed it was about them, and unfollowed in a huff, or set a trap to make me look bad. Jessica followed me again, messaging that there was no bad blood and it was a glitch, urging me to clear the air. I waited to cool off, saying I'd respond when ready. 3 hours later, they messaged again, acting confused about why I'd treat them this way. My head spun like an owl's. I haven't spoken to Jessica since last December, and a SpongeBob meme triggered this. Either they think I don't know about their rude text to Dean, maybe Sam doesn't either, or they genuinely believe they're in the right. This feels like middle school drama, and I'm exhausted. The cruise is canceled, and we're planning a no-travel alternative. I'll keep you posted. Edit. I know this is petty social media nonsense, and I hate it too. Growing up with it, I can spot manipulation. It feels gross, but it's the update I have. What do you all think? Drop your thoughts below. Huge thanks for joining me today and engaging with these stories. Your support means everything, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Catch you in the next one. Take care and much love.